It's definitely an exciting time. For Princeton specifically, we have 5 student athletes who are all vying for a spot on the Olympic team. One is a former student athlete, Maren Ford, Langford, and then we have 4 current student athletes who are vying for selection. They all took the year off to be a part of this Olympic buildup, and they'll find out tomorrow. Yeah, the High Performance Championship is, there's 8 regions, and we all have an opportunity to, we have an 8-week, essentially a 6 to 8 week build-up with, in our respective regions, where we pull in all the best talent from our region, and then the national team players are farmed out to the 8 different regions. And after that 6 to 8 week build, we come down here, we select our squads. So we all start with a squad of probably 30 plus. We narrow it down to a top 18. And then we come down here and we compete, and it's the national team development squad selections, and for this year the Olympic selections. I mean, I think it's a tough pool without a doubt, but I think, and of course I'm not in it every day, so I can't speak to the specifics of how the U.S. team is building, but I think they've been really smart about how just not overtraining. I think that's easy to do, and it seems as though they've had a really good tempo about their training, and being really thoughtful about who's playing when, and just giving everyone a really good look, developing that depth, because I think once you get into this selection period, you want to be picking from a pool of 24, not just scraping together a 16, and I think that there's legitimate talent here and deep talent, and I think that's going to make for a really strong Olympic squad. But, I think there's just so many amazing men and women in this country coaching, and I do feel great about what we've done at Princeton and how we are putting it together. I think the Ivy League environment is difficult, and I think we've been able to navigate that really successfully and build extraordinary talent at Princeton, and who are doing extraordinary things at the international level, and not just at the national team, but with the U21 national team and the U19 team. And I think because of the success of those players, we're attracting really great student athletes, and so hopefully that bodes well for our future. But yeah, we just try to keep staying on the edge of everything in terms of coaching and physiology, and we do have a great team at Princeton without a doubt. And team, I mean the administration, people like Jeff and Gary Walters, and then being able to make a stellar choice with AstroTurf. Everyone, I think, is doing their part to make it a first-class venue for what I think is a first-class program. Yeah, it became obvious a couple years ago that the needs for lacrosse in terms of surface was going to be very different than the needs for field hockey, and fortunately Princeton was very supportive of field hockey, and realized that we weren't able to play on a tall pile surface, and they were so generous in supporting the construction of a brand new facility, which will be exclusively for the field hockey team. And we've got a beautiful AstroTurf field that we're able to play on, and we just can't wait to get out there and test it out. Clearly, just Princeton University's philosophy, I mean, they always are so conscientious of making sure that everything they do is green and in line with just making sure that everything is environmentally friendly. And I think Jeff Graydon had a huge hand in being able to develop some of the technology and in terms of the infrastructure to make sure that we were going in a direction that was responsible in terms of the environment. And we feel really good about being able to kind of be cutting edge in that area. And certainly the collaboration with AstroTurf and what Jeff Graydon has been able to bring to the table has been, I think, an extraordinary combination. And I know the result is going to be just one of the best facilities in the country. We actually didn't know which plot belonged to which company, and so we tested it blindly, which I think is the right thing to do, and it was clear for the staff and all of our players that AstroTurf was the best product for us. And just to see it, kind of how it wore just even over a couple months, it really it looked great, and from a visual perspective, and then certainly from a playing perspective, there's really no comparison. it's really a different game. You know, AstroTurf is really the best surface to build skills. You know, there's an evenness to it, there's a predictability to it that you just can't get on an infill or a grass surface. So in terms of our sport, there's really one choice, and that's AstroTurf.